War and Peace begins in the Russian city of St. Petersburg in 1805, as fear of Napoleon's ongoing war-making begins to set in. Most of the characters are introduced at a party, including Pierre Bezukhov, Andrei Bolkonsky, and the Kuragin and Rostov families. Much of the novel focuses on the interactions between the Bezukhovs, Bolkonskys, and the Rostovs. After their introduction, Andrei Bolkonsky and Nikolai Rostov go to the Austrian front under General Kutuzov, a fictional representation of Mikhail Kutuzov, to engage with Napoleon's troops. Andrei is then injured at the Battle of Austerlitz and presumed dead, until he arrives home to his wife, Lise, who dies during childbirth soon after. Pierre, meanwhile, has married Helena Kuragina. She is unfaithful to him, and Pierre duels with the other man, almost killing him. He soon becomes overwhelmed by his marriage and leaves Helena. He joins the Freemasons, which influences his personal and business fortunes greatly. In the meantime, Nikolai has racked up a large amount of gambling debt, which causes the Rostov family to lose most of their fortune. He is encouraged to marry a wealthy heiress, despite promising to marry Sonia, his cousin. Nikolai eventually witnesses the peace between Tsar Alexander I and Napoleon, Treaties of Tilsit, signed in 1807. Andrei soon becomes involved with Natasha Rostov, only to be told by his father that he must wait a year before marrying her. After some time away, Andrei discovers that Natasha has been unfaithful. He rejects her, and Pierre consoles her, eventually falling in love with her. In 1812, Napoleon invades Russia, forcing Alexander to declare war. Andrei returns to service, and Pierre is driven to believe he must personally assassinate Napoleon. As the French advance, Mary, Lise's sister, is forced to leave her house. Nikolai finds her in the streets, and the two reconnect. Pierre, still crazed by his imaginary duty, is apprehended by French forces and witnesses a number of executions, which deeply affect him. During his imprisonment, he befriends Platon Karatev, a wise peasant. He is later freed from the French and promptly falls ill. After recovering, he marries Natasha, and they have 4 children together. Nikolai weds Mary, and the two enjoy a happy married life. War and Peace is known for its realism, something Tolstoy achieved through intensive research. He visited battlefields, read history books on the Napoleonic Wars, and drew on real historical events to create a novel of living history. Tolstoy had originally planned to write a novel centering on the Decembrists, whose revolution in 1825 against the Tsar attempted to end autocratic rule in Russia. The Decembrists failed, however, and those who were spared execution were sent to Siberia. Tolstoy wanted to depict a Decembrist, now old, returning from exile. As Tolstoy wrote and revised, however, the novel evolved into the War and Peace known today, a novel that takes place more than a decade before the Decembrist movement. The novel's primary historical setting is the French invasion of Russia in 1812, which was a turning point in the Napoleonic Wars and a period of patriotic significance to Russia. Some historians argue that this invasion was the event that metamorphosed into the Decembrist movement years. Like it, please subscribe and give us a thumb.